People say that it is extremely tough for indie developers to survive without chipping a hit. But I will show you how easy it is. You don't need much resources to do it. In fact, you don't need any money at all. You just have to be creative and use your imagination. For example, always look for the places like this, because there you can usually find some useful equipment. Just be careful, there might be some managers inside, you never know.
This is my swamp!
Oh! Hello everyone, and welcome to the 20th episode of Indie Dev Journey. It has been more than 6 months since my first video already, wow. In this video I want to share with you my thoughts on productivity. For quite a long time I was obsessed with an idea that I'm not doing enough because I'm not using all of my free time in a day. I looked at other people who wake up at 5 AM every day and work till 10 PM and then they go to bed. And I spend only several hours productively. These thoughts were stressful. Sometimes I couldn't fall asleep because of them for 2 or even 3 hours. And I'm glad that I finally realized that I shouldn't compare myself to other people. You usually hear this phrase in fitness industry, or at least I do. But in my opinion, it applies just as well to any other field. Programming, arts, you name it. I'm not Elon Musk or any other super productive person. I can view them for motivation, but I shouldn't look down at my own progress as it is not as impressive as theirs. For the biggest part of my life, I was lazy. If there was no food in the fridge, I would wait for my mother to come with something to eat instead of spending 10 minutes to get to the shop and back. Seriously, it was that bad. When I decided to learn game development, I had absolutely no idea where to start, so I began with learning C++. And at the time it was very difficult for me to spend 1 hour a day on learning to code. Granted, I was on my first year in university. In the end of December 2016, I created a challenge for myself to get 300 hours of experience in about 5 months. Here it is, by the way. To do it, I had to practice for 2 hours a day on average, and it was extremely difficult for me at the time, even though a big chunk of that learning time was spent on watching tutorials on YouTube. That is definitely not the best way to learn. Now I spend 4 hours a day on game development with some days off, and if you look at the progress from this perspective, you see the development and feel positive. Another thing is that these super productive people usually have lots of different tasks each day. They don't spend 12 hours doing the same thing. If you try to do it, your energy and motivation will soon plummet. And I don't own several businesses, I don't have to spend a lot of time communicating with other people or check email. Basically, during the day I have to do 3 main things most of the time. Make new levels for the game, train and play guitar. And from this day I also have to do university work, write diploma and so on. Without university work it takes me about 5.5 to 6.5 hours a day to complete these 3 tasks. And I also have some days off in which I try to be with my girlfriend. Also, instead of focusing on the quantity of work hours, I now try to focus on the quality. I split my game dev time into 2 sets, in quotes, of 2 hours each. I use Pomodoro technique on both of these game dev sessions. I got the biggest productivity boost from turning off the internet while I make new levels, and in 5-minute breaks I play guitar. Often I don't feel like working, but when I force myself to do it, after the first, 15 minutes, I get into the working state and it goes well from there. In between game development sets I work out, cook something and eat. This mentality switch really helped me out to reduce stress, and if any of you watching have the same issues, this may be helpful for you as well. Phew, I think that it is everything that I wanted to say about productivity for now, and now I should say something about the game. You saw new levels I've made on the screen. I don't know how difficult are they because no one have tested them yet. Besides me, of course. And here I'm showing the endless mode I'm working on. Pretty much all segments are completely random, and I try to prevent any impossible to go through combinations of traps from appearing. This is the code for this endless mode. For the most part, it consists of a lot of different if statements. I survived through autumn and winter, and the sun is finally coming back. I'm very dependent on it for energy, so bursts of energy are coming. I hope that you like this video. New videos are definitely coming, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.